Now, why am I talking about this? Come on, we're talking about UFOs, mermaids, everything na wala pang proof that are existing. Crimes, however, they happen every day. Hola, kumusta? This is your amigang guapa, Zamieca, and today is my new favorite day. It's Thrift and True Crime Tuesday. Sorry if it took so long for our second episode. If you were here during our pilot episode, you would notice the difference. Yes, we now have a condenser microphone. I really hope it's giving us a better audio quality. Also, our set is powered by an LED light. So if you are ever curious, I am going to link the videos down below in the description box so you can see. And yeah, if you're new here on my channel, hi, I'm Zamieca. I am a research specialist by day and a guilty true crime enthusiast by my Google search history. So hi, if you know who is Bailey Syrian, so you basically know what this channel is all about. However, I want to respect her craft, that I don't want to be a copycat. So what I'm going to do, instead of doing my makeup like she does, I will have my face prefixed and dress as I see fit for the story that I'm going to tell you, or the case that I'm going to tell you, with ukay-ukay clothes. Yes, with thrifted clothes. So
Welcome to zamieca, Manila, your Thrift X True Crime Stories channel.
please comment down below if you happen to know someone who does exactly like this, because I'm gonna bet my ass I did this first. Now, since our channel is about true crime stories, there will be very sensitive topics, sensitive materials. So, warning.
The following video contains graphic materials that may be harmful or traumatizing to some audiences.
But my grammar is far more deadly than all the murderers that we will encounter in this channel. If you are a grammar Nazi, you'll die here. But I hope you endure, dear. Viewers' discretion is advised. Now, before the chaos, we go chic. For today's thrift fit, here is a nude suede asymmetrical bodycon dress that I got from an online store. So comfy, so stylish. Though it has some sexy on it, the color tones it down. Just topped it off with my favorite thrifted structured black blazer. The cuff ends just above my wrist, a staple for an office girl, then paired with nude pumps from Parisian and this handbag from Celine. You see thrifted outfits with the right accessories build power confidence. Ika nga, nasa nagdadala lang yan. Now, why am I wearing a corporate attire? You'll find in a few. Important note, at the moment we are in a pandemic, alam kong napaka-tempting to go thrifting ngayon, but I do not advise. These clothes have been in my closet for a while now, but if you really wish to, please be cautious or thrift online instead. So for today's video, we will be talking about Sarah Kaye Mindo. Yes, her case actually made me set aside all the cases that I've studied prior. I just feel like her then life, I can relate to it, and I want to bring awareness. That is why I'm also bringing her case here on our channel. I want us to discuss or to come up with how we can avoid the ill fate that Sarah Mindo experienced. Honestly, it took all my research, aka detective skills, in finding information about Sarah Kaye or her backstory. Yeah, I went to her Facebook account and all I see is her amazing personalized shoes. So, kumbaga, very business type, business profile. So I couldn't see. There are only very few of photos that are about her personal life, but I am taking it as Sarah Kaye is someone like yung very vocal when it comes to her fans. However, she keeps personal things to herself, like to her family and friends. Or baka naman kasi kaya yun lang yung nakikita ko sa Facebook niya, because we're not friends in Facebook, so all I see are the public posts. However, your girl right here is made for this. Yes, I found an article that mentioned her aunt. Yes, the full name of her aunt. So I went to Facebook and searched for her aunt. However, it seemed like nag-change ng name yung auntie niya. However, there was a post na tinag siya doon. So I went there and checked. Yes, indeed, it was her aunt. So I sent her a message asking if I could ask something or some personal things, just background information about Sarah Kaye, because if I'm going to bring Sarah's case here, I want to be as accurate as I could. So I sent her a message explaining who I am, why I'm doing it, like that, and up to this date, the message is still in the message request and it's still not yet seen. Though I understand, kasi ako din naman, ganun ako, hindi ko napapansin na meron na pala akong mga message requests. So what I did is, I took my initiative. I went to mga Facebook posts that were related to the death of Sarah Kaye, and there, nakita ko yung mga, of course, there are a lot of messages, sad messages right there, pero I have spotted some of her relatives. I know they were relatives kasi they have the same family name, and one of the relatives there mentioned na she described Sarah Kaye as mabait, matulungin, not just on her immediate family but also sa mga kamag-anak, and among all others, of course, magaling na artist. Yes, and one relative right there said na it was very painful for them, for the immediate family, because Sarah Kaye was actually an Ukay-ukay. She is an only daughter, and she was supporting her mother, whose name is Susan, and then her lola. So she is basically the breadwinner. And through those comments right there, that is where I got the information that I'm sharing to you now here about Sarah Kaye. Sarah Kaye is actually from Romblon. It's a region in Mimaropa in the Philippines. Yes, she was a 29-year-old compliance officer of Citibank in Taguig. Yeah, a lot of article would say, and one of the local news, actually mentioned na she was a customer service representative. And just to be sure of the information, I went to LinkedIn. I don't know if you know what's LinkedIn. It's like a database of all the professionals that you can put your professional experience right there if you want to find some jobs like that. And I found her profile, and it says she was a compliance officer of Citibank. So there you have it. Everything that I'll be posting here on our channel, it took a lot of effort, dedication, time spent. So please hit the subscribe button right there for a moment. Yeah, and please like this video if you think you are enjoying so far. Yes, go click that subscribe button so that you will be part of our Zambi family. Yes, that you will be right here every Tuesday for our thrift and true crime stories. While working in the bank as a compliance officer, she also had a very thriving business in painting, customizing sneakers, portrait paintings, paintings on canvas, on clothes. The girl was an artist, yes. And she even had a YouTube channel. Yes, that's the only footage that I've seen of her talking, and my impression, just like a lively, happy, like pretty, sexy, very talented girl. But what really happened to Sarah Kaye Mindo? Sarah Kaye lives alone in a subdivision in Kawit, Cavite, and di ba nga, she's working in Taguig, so that's quite a distance. So what she usually did is, she gets out of the house at 5 a.m. So ganun kaaga to avoid traffic and being late. And that routine is something that the neighbors know na 5 a.m. lumalabas na talaga si Kaye. February 21, 2020, at 5 a.m., may kapitbahay na lalaking nakarinig kay Sarah Kaye. She was screaming for help. Let's call him Tomas. Yes, Tomas heard Sarah Kaye na humihingi ng tulong thrice at 5 a.m. But it was only at 8 a.m. nung pumunta siya sa isang kapitbahay din na mas malapit kay Sarah. Let's call her Divine. So sabi ni Tomas, I heard Sarah asking for help, like at 5 a.m. Sabi naman ni Divine, it's impossible to be Sarah kasi nga at 5 a.m. umaalis na yun ng bahay. But Tomas insisted kasi nga, after niya daw narinig yung screams, hindi daw lumabas ng bahay si Sarah Kaye. So, Divine and then Tomas, they went to Sarah Kaye's place. So, dumaan sila sa likod bahay. And there they saw the bloody and lifeless body of Sarah Kaye. So they rang the police. That was their initial reaction upon seeing Sarah Kaye's body right there. And maagap namang dumating yung Kawit Cavite police sa crime scene. And upon initial investigation, yung katawan ni Sarah Kaye, the right side was on the concrete. So, nakahiga siya doon na nakaganon, nakatagilid. And she was wearing a dress and naka-coat na black, naka-shoes, and according to Soko, intact naman daw yung underwear niya. However, in some articles, it was written in there na wala daw siyang underwear, ganon. And some of these articles were actually from a very reputable news centers. Yeah, go look at it. Makikita nyo sa Google. And yeah, I went to believe Soko. Of course, Bilgas is my guy. Hi, Soko! Paulit-ulit na po yung mga artista nyo. If you are looking for someone fresh, someone good, hi, I'm Zam. Upon further investigation, they've learned that it was around 5 a.m. The same time na narinig ni Tomas yung screams. Yes, and since it was a common knowledge na parang alam ng mga tao doon na at 5 a.m. umaalis na talaga si Sarah Kaye for work. So the police thought na yung suspect, inintay talaga siyang magbukas ng door and then pushed her inside the house and did a crime. And it was later supported na ganun nga yung nangyari kasi there was no forced entry upon further investigation. Studying the crime scene, nakita nila doon na some of the money were still there. However, they weren't able to retrieve yung pitaka ni Sarah Kaye and they assumed na dinala yun ng suspect sa pagtakas. Yun. And Sarah Kaye's post-mortem examination results says that she was stabbed 20 times. So, tinadtad talaga siya ng saksak and that ultimately led to her death. Sarah Kaye's autopsy report says na there was a healed laceration sa kanyang genitalia, which is an indication that possibly na-rape din si Sarah Kaye. And yun, the murder weapon was actually retrieved sa crime scene. It was a kitchen knife, like the same kitchen knife we have in our kitchen. Yes, ganon yung murder weapon. Since Sarah Kaye lives alone from her family, nalaman na lang ng pamilya niya yung nangyari sa kanya through Facebook. Yes, through Facebook. So that, to me, that was quite an awful way for the family to know what happened to her. Yeah. Ako kasi, something that I can relate to, something that I always consider, what if may mangyari and no one knows who I am? Kaya, on my stuff, I always have this thing that in case of emergency, you call this person. Ganon. So you take note that too, Zambies, okay? So, I can imagine the shock of the family kasi wala talaga. No one would ever think na mangyayari sa kanya yun. Now, since it was a subdivision, there will be CCTVs in the area. So, yun yung ginawa ng mga police. They reviewed all the CCTVs in the area and the sound that the CCTV captured was actually very sensitive. It was Sarah Kaye's last cry for help and could have been her last words before she died. In the CCTV footage, maririnig mo si Sarah Kaye na sumigaw na wag po. And then she screamed at the top of her lungs. A CCTV from another angle was also reviewed by the police and doon nila makikita yung lalaking lumalabas galing sa back door ng bahay ni Sarah Kaye. Yes, he was casually walking away from the house wearing a jacket and a cap. And since nakakap siya, hindi nakita yung mukha niya. So there was no identification using the CCTV until they found a witness na nagsabing he saw a guy na lumabas sa bahay, galing sa bahay ni Sarah Kaye at 5 a.m. Yes, and upon further questioning, the witness was able to identify the guy as Reggie. As they should, the police ran a background check of this Reggie guy, and then they learned na his name was Reggie Boy Estabelio, 26 years old, Tubong Coronadal, South Cotabato. And this is the shocking part right here in the story. He is actually the security guard of the subdivision for 6 months na nakatira rin sa barracks within the subdivision. And he actually had a good track record according to the residents ng subdivision. He was mabait, matulungin, very polite, and actually lagi siyang nai-invite to parties ng mga residents doon sa subdivision. Divine actually vouched for Reggie na talagang mabait siya as a security guard. Talagang maraming nababaitan sa kanya, and sa 6 months na service niya within the subdivision, he had some encounters with Sarah. Now you see, Sarah is pretty, sexy, friendly, yun. So, nag-add si Divine na Reggie actually liked Sarah matagal na, and one time, nung papasok na si Sarah, pauwi na siya, nasa entrance siya ng subdivision, nagkalakas loob si Reggie to tell her kung pwede ba siyang manligaw. However, narinig ng mga residents doon na malapit that Sarah politely said na hindi pwede kasi she had already a boyfriend. Now, this helped the investigation a lot. Para sa mga pulis, ang pagkabigo sa panliligaw could be a motive to the murder. They are considering na baka nagalit si Reggie kay Sarah because of the rejection. However, as for the murder weapon na na-recover sa crime scene, it was a kitchen knife, diba? The police were able to trace it. So yung ginawa nila, they asked one of Reggie's co-workers, security guard din, and he confirmed na yes, yung kitchen knife na yon is the kitchen knife sa barracks nila. Now, with the testimonies and evidences, the police now have a strong reason to believe that Reggie is the prime suspect. Now, around this time, nakapagtago na si Reggie. However, on February 24, 3 days after the murder, the police received a tip na si Reggie is in Tanza, Cavite. So, the Kawit police were able to entrap him, nahuli si Reggie, and hindi na siya pumalag and admitted sa murder. Now, in an interview with Soko, tinanong si Reggie, bakit mo pinuntahan si Sarah Kaye at 5 a.m.? Sabi niya, he wanted to talk to Sarah Kaye kasi nga gusto niya ito. And he was later asked, ba't mo pinatay? Ba't mo sinaksak? Sabi niya naman, sabi daw ni Sarah Kaye, hindi siya type nito. Now, Reggie. Normal people, pag nabusted, pwede kang umiyak, pwede kang uminom, pwede kang malungkot. But normal people don't kill people. We don't, Reggie. We don't. Reggie then admitted of the murder, but he denies the rape. Yun yung sabi niya. And he also admitted using drugs on that day. Yes. So, let's just pause. Sabi niya hindi niya daw ni-rape si Sarah Kaye. Which could possibly talagang hindi niya ni-rape si Sarah because, di ba nga sa autopsy, it says na healed laceration. So, posibleng yung laceration was actually from a prior sexual intercourse with the boyfriend and not really from Reggie. I don't know. This is just my opinion. Kasi remember the Sarah case? It was found na meron daw laceration, but actually wala naman talagang rape na nangyari. Na possibly from the boyfriend, ganon. So what do you think, guys? Please comment down below if yun. Pero in the Soko documentary, sabi naman doon, a test was conducted for semen, and titingnan doon kung yung semen na nandoon, kung meron man, if it will match Reggie. Yun. But the cases filed to Reggie were murder, robbery, and rape. So, since including yung rape sa case na sinampa sa kanya, possibly talagang he did the deed. Now, nung nahuli si Reggie, the opinion of the public were unanimous na they want bitay for rapist. They want to have the death penalty be implemented back here in the Philippines. Now, I guess we should be careful on what we wished for kasi on the day na naaresto si Reggie, according to the Kawit police, at 11 p.m., nakaramdam daw ito si Reggie ng pagkahilo and nahihirapang huminga. So, he was brought to San Pedro Calungsod Hospital and sinubukang i-revive and he died there. Do you believe that? Na high blood si Reggie? Or, you know. Well, this is kinda common to cases like this. If you know the People v. Lloyd Bagtong, this was the guy na kinain niya yung utak ng babaeng pinatay niya because English ng English. I don't know if you have heard of that, but that is our next case, so abangan nyo. On that case too, on the day na hinuli si Bagtong, si Lloyd, namatay din siya. So, for me, yes, I know, criminals like this deserves to die. I think we can agree to that. However, I don't think that would satisfy the victims. Namatay lang sila, no suffering. That's all. They died. Walang pagbabayad, walang... So, I don't think... I don't know. But yeah, he died. Now, for the Mindo family sentiments, especially the aunt, na galit sa suspect, which I feel her. Now, please let me or allow me to read her statement. Just for some reasons, I just couldn't memorize it. Maybe because it's so strong that my brain couldn't process it. So please let me read it to you, okay? Sabi niya in a Facebook post, sabi niya, to the suspect, gusto kitang balatan ng buhay at buhusan ng asido tsaka pagulungin sa asin, tuklapin ng paisa-isa ang kuko mo, dukutin ang mga mata mo, bunutin ang ngipin mo, at tanggalin ang putang inang ari mo at ipakain sa'yo. So, did I just say putang ina? Now, that was the angry sentiment of her aunt, which is very understandable for a grieving family member. So that is the gruesome and sad case of a pretty, sexy, talented artist, Sarah Kaye Mindo. And just like her, I also live alone, and what I do is I always double lock my room. Yes, and when I moved here, actually yung available na rooms is here sa second floor and the third level. So between the two, mas binili ko yung floor na to kasi yung flat na beside my unit actually had a store na they have CCTV, and that made me feel extra safe. So yun, and I also don't like people to come here on my flat, especially yung mga delivery guy na kailangan dalhin dito. Ako talaga yung nagdadala, so I always go down, and yun, as much as possible, we should keep our whereabouts, our addresses private. This is something that I want to share to you. Even before pan, nanonood na talaga ako ng mga documentary, and there was a documentary doon na she was a nurse, and there were construction workers na laging nag-hi sa kanya, nag-good morning, and iniirapan niya lang, like, ganon. And then she ended up being stabbed by those construction workers kasi nga parang they think na suplada ito. So when I learned of that case, pag may bumabati talaga sa akin, binabati ko. Now, even before I've learned this case, parang napapansin ko rin that I am being very extra friendly with the people around here, the security guards, the tricycle drivers, ganon. And I've noticed na some people, I don't know, maybe because they lack affection sa lives nila, that they mistake your kindness for desire, that since pinapansin mo sila, ganon, they think na you have this special thing towards them, yun, na misinterpret. That is why I'm also toning down my friendliness into safe levels. Now, this is something to ponder that I want us to discuss over the comment section. I think, this is my opinion ha, when something like that happens, na may burglar or may taong like ganon, pumasok sa bahay natin and trapped us or whatever, I think it is best not to shout, not to scream. I know it's hard not to be scared at that moment. However, I feel like kaya napapatay yung iba is because they screamed so loud na yung suspect, of course, natatakot silang mahuli, natataranta din. So, they end up stabbing the victim. And some of it talagang natataranta na maybe they couldn't just hindi na nila nare-realize na they were stabbing them 30 times. And that was it. The victim dies. So I think the best thing to do in cases like that, although I cannot guarantee na talagang magiging kalmado ka. But maybe, if you do have the chance na makapag-isip, maybe it's good na huwag kang sumigaw and let the person do what he wants. Kung robbery, let him do that. Although there are cases na talagang that didn't work, but there are cases na that worked. So I think, what if Sarah didn't scream? I don't know. Before we end this episode, I'd like to take a short moment to say our prayers to Sarah Kaye. Together, eternal rest grant unto Sarah Kaye, and let the perpetual light shine upon her. May her departed faithful soul find rest in the mercy of God. Amen. Now, this has been your amigang guapa, Zamieca, for Zamieca Manila. Thank you for watching this case, and as you can see, there are a lot of efforts put into this content, so please, I'll be very happy and appreciate if you'd go ahead and subscribe and like this video, and I want to hear your comments right at the comment section. Yes, so you may suggest another case to talk about there in the comment section or here at zamieca.manila@gmail.com. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on our next Thrift and True Crime Tuesday. Bye!